I've just recently went through a pretty challenging period and I'm still a little bit in it, but this is what inspires me to do this video today because I got to see how I was responding to what was happening and how I was making the best out of it. Despite it being very hard and despite me having to go through the process, despite me having to feel those uncomfortable feelings and moments where it just felt really heavy, like there's no running away from it. This video is not a quick fix. It's not to tell you how to get out of it, it's to tell you how to go through it, or more so to inspire you on your own journey on ways you can address this in a more empowering way and in a way that helps you grow and that brings purpose to this challenging moment, that you're not just experiencing hardship but you're actually creating something out of it, that once you get out of it, it's gonna bring you to a new place and it's gonna allow you to create a new reality out of it. Because I don't believe these challenging periods happen just in vain. Like, I truly believe that everything that happens can serve us in so many ways and we can use what's happening to see deeper within us where it's not aligned or whatever fears we're holding on to. You know, this is just a process of life. There's an ebb and flow to life. It's a natural process and we as humans go through that process as much as nature goes through the process. You know, there's winter, there's summer, even the waves of an ocean goes in and out. Sometimes it's raining outside, sometimes it's really sunny, and we have to have both. Like, if it would not be raining, things wouldn't be watered and then life wouldn't grow from it. So we also have to go through harder times to grow from it and to learn from it. So let me tell you how I address these challenging periods in my life. First of all, there's a surrender to the process. Like, there's really no point from running from it. Every time that something happens that is really hard, like an emotion is coming up or just challenging times in my life, instead of trying to fix it or run from it or saying it's not supposed to be there, I allow it to be what it is. And I'm like, okay, this is happening. Let me just accept. First of all, just accept that this is happening, because when you're in that state of acceptance, you have a greater ability to respond. So you won't need to stay in that challenging time so long because you will be growing from it and learning the lessons from it. So you're going to be able to step out of it quicker. The goal is not to go quicker. It's not like, okay, I'll accept it so it's quicker. It's just to be like, this is going to take the time it's going to take. This is allowed to happen. Let me see what I can create out of this. And just be in that state of surrender and know that it happens to all of us. And there's nothing that needs to be fixed. This is just part of living. This is just a process of life. And this is just the season you are in. Allow yourself to be in that season. And when you're accepting it, you're also knowing that it's temporary. When you're resisting it, you're actually keeping it in place. Because it's like saying, don't think about the color blue. Don't think about the color blue. What are you thinking about? You're thinking about the color blue. But if you tell yourself, I'm allowed to think about the color blue, like I'm allowed to think about any color, anything I want. You might be thinking about the color blue, but then it's going to change. It's going to move and you're thinking about something else and it's just going to be a free flow. So when you're saying, this should not happen, this should not happen, you're actually keeping it in place. But when you're saying, okay, this is allowed to happen, I'm allowed to be experiencing this challenging moment in my life, then you're allowing it to be what it is and you're allowing it to move. And whenever it's done doing whatever it's doing, it's going to move and you're going to be experiencing something else. Everything is in constant movement. Everything is temporary and your challenges are no different. Even if in the midst of the moment, it feels like there's nothing else that exists and it's going to stay like that forever, it's not. And you know this. So just remind yourself that, hey, it's okay. This is the season I'm in. Let me just be in it. The next thing I do is allow for self-awareness. Really allow these challenging moments to help me deepen my self-awareness about the fears I'm holding on to, about whatever blockages I have inside. Like, what is this reflecting back to me? What is this saying about what I'm holding inside of me? I really allow challenging times to be a mirror to what I'm holding inside. So let's say, an example, you get a car accident and then like it's boring, okay? It's a car accident, you have to fix the car, you have to put money in it, you won't have a car for a while, whatever, the whole process of it. You can use this as an opportunity to see how you handle stress, to see what fears you're still holding on to. So let's say it made you really panic. The situation made you panic in a way that's like worse than the actual situation. You're panicking so much because of the fear of money. So now you're seeing that, oh, there's maybe a fear of lack still living inside of me, and you get to bring more self-awareness to where you're at in your life and in your healing process, and use this as a building block to build more resilience, to handle your stress better. For me, the challenging moment I just went through was a lot in relation to my YouTube channel and to the success that has not been happening, and to how tired I've been, and to how it's been feeling like something that's never gonna happen. And I went through a whole process of liberation. And it really allowed me to see the limitations I'm still holding on to, and the stories that still live inside of me, and how I'm holding myself back, and how I'm still in my ego in a lot of my creations, in the fear of not saying the right thing, the fear of taking the wrong path, of doing a mistake, the fear of failure and stuff. So it really allowed me to do a lot of introspection and learn so much. And since I'm allowing myself to see deeper, I'm learning from it so quick that it's bringing me in these new places so quick. Now, also something I do when I'm going through challenging times is to adapt my schedule. Like sometimes we try to keep everything together. We try to keep the same pace going with our work, with our social plans, with our trainings, with everything, because we don't want to lose time. We don't want this to bring us back. You know, we're working on these goals and we're like, I don't have time to be in a shitty position. I don't have time for this challenging moment. But then you're still in that resistance. You're still trying to control everything instead of listening to the season you're in and adapting to what is going on, to truly take the time to rejuvenate from this. So for me, if I'm in a harder period, let's say you're going through like more of a depression, or you're feeling very tired, you're feeling very overwhelmed, right? Things feel just a lot harder. For me, I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna see where I'm overgiving. I'm gonna see where I'm over planning. And in those moments, I'm gonna take more time for myself. I won't fill up my schedule as much. I'll be a lot more in a flow too. Like instead of planning stuff too much ahead of time, I'm gonna leave more space and I'm gonna see how I feel in that moment. Like instead of planning everything of my next weekend, if I'm not sure if I will have the energy to show up, I will put things on hold. I'll be like, oh, I'll maybe do that. And I'll check in with myself to see how I feel for doing that. And like working out, let's say you have working out goals. Instead of sticking to the exact same plan of working out and being like really intense in your workouts, like for me, I'm gonna adapt my workouts. I'm gonna maybe still show up on the mat, but I won't have stuff I have to do. I'll do a flowing intuitive workout session, or I'll do more yoga and stretches. Also, like I know myself, I get really drained by social plans, and in moments where I'm more overwhelmed and I'm going through a lot emotionally, like I don't have as much to give. So I'm gonna narrow down my social outings, my social interactions, and I might take longer to respond to people that write to me. You know, adapt yourself to the season you're in. Don't try to always maintain this consistency, or more so this fixed way of being, because life fluctuates. You can be consistent while not doing the same thing every single day. Adapting to the season you're in, slowing down when you need to slow down, and then accelerating when you're in that space of accelerating. So now you're more flowing and you're bringing so much more ease into your everyday life, and you're allowing yourself to flow through this more challenging period and really allowing it to do its work without forcing it to be something it's not. Now, this goes in the same direction, but I'm also gonna bring a lot more silence into my everyday life, because when you're going through challenging moments, it's because there's things that want to be seen inside of you, and when there's a lot of noise on the external, you won't be able to hear the messages that want to be heard. When you're constantly distracting yourself with shows, with social media, when you're constantly working or doing stuff on the outside, or there's always noise of everywhere coming, you are not connecting to your intuition. You are not connecting to the answers that are within you. And the more you allow yourself pockets of moments of silence, the more you are going to be receptive to what is showing up within you. So this could look like taking more walks, doing meditation, taking a bath, even taking more naps, like resting more, or not consuming content as much. really stepping back and bringing a bit more silence in your day is gonna really help you get through this challenging moment and learn so much more from it. Another thing I do is I look at my habits, at my everyday habits, and I see how they are serving me. It's like every time I go through something challenging, it puts a perspective on where I've been lacking, on where I've been abandoning myself. Like it could be my habits with food, with training, with bringing more silence in my day, or overwhelming my schedule. I really allow this moment for more introspection and to see where I can improve on. Where are the habits that I've maybe was doing before and I stopped doing them, or that I do want to improve on. And I start looking at these little things, micro improvements I could do in my everyday life, in my habits, that really bring me in a healthier and higher state, a higher frequency, that first of all allows me to address the challenges in a more aligned and connected way. But also it shows me where I've been lacking and what maybe brought me into this more challenging moment. So that after, when I'm out of this challenging moment, I'm also building a healthier, a more aligned lifestyle that is gonna support me, and that is gonna, maybe life won't need to be this hard with me next time, won't need to like shove me to the ground to be like, wake up, because I will be more aligned with my everyday life. So basically, it's about allowing what's happening to be, not putting as much resistance in it, adapting yourself to it, getting the lessons from it, learning from it, allowing it to build more self-awareness, to make more introspection and improve the quality of your life and how you show up for yourself and for things around you. Challenging times are necessary and they have so much to offer. It's not a bad thing. We have to stop putting things in boxes of this is bad, this should not happen, and this is good, this should happen, because sometimes the things that we think are bad is the things that allow us to grow the most, is the thing that we actually needed for our well-being, for our expansion, for our joy. And then once we get out of that, we reach a new depth within ourselves and then higher ability to feel all these feel-good emotions, because we allowed ourselves to fully dive into these harder moments that were weighing heavy on us, and truly release this and learn from it and grow from it. So I hope this video helps and inspired you, and hoping you have a great day.